In the year 2006, an internal document from a major search company was accidentally released into the public record. It contained 20 million search queries from 650,000 users over a 3-month window. The names were redacted. The user identities were replaced with numbers. The company believed this made the data anonymous. Within 72 hours, journalists had identified specific individuals by name, by address, by medical history, by their most private fears, using nothing but the sequence of questions they had typed into a search bar. One woman was identified by her searches for her own symptoms. Another by the searches she made after her husband left her. A third by the way she researched her own death. They had never shared their names. They had only shared their questions. And their questions, it turned out, were more than enough. This is what a search query actually is. Not a request for information, a confession, typed in solitude, submitted in the belief that no one is watching, preserved forever. From which city are you watching this video? Let me know in the comments below. You use this tool every day. Most people make between 3 and 5 searches a day. Some make 30, some make 100. Multiply that across a lifetime. 20 years of searches. 30, 40, somewhere in a system you will never see. There is a document that contains every question you have ever asked when you thought you were alone. Every symptom. Every suspicion. Every name of someone from your past you could not stop thinking about. Every embarrassing curiosity. Every 3 in the morning question that you would never say out loud. It is all there. It is indexed. It is timestamped. It is geolocated. And it has been read. The official narrative is polished. Search is a service. Search is free. Search is neutral. Search simply helps you find what you are looking for. This is the story told in advertisements, in congressional hearings, in carefully worded privacy policies that almost no one reads. A story about a helpful tool. A story about a library that happens to live on your screen. But consider what a library does not do. A library does not record who checked out which book. A library does not note how long you stood in front of which shelf. A library does not follow you home. A library does not compare your reading to the reading of every other person in the city. A library does not, at the end of the year, produce a report to advertisers describing exactly what kind of human you have become. Search is not a library. Search is something else. Something we do not have a clean word for yet. Every query you submit carries 4 layers of data. The words you typed. The words you almost typed and deleted. The context surrounding the query, which includes your location, your device, the time of day, the weather, the applications you had open, the sites you visited in the previous hour. And the follow-up, which is the sequence of actions you take after receiving the results. Which link you clicked. How long you stayed. Whether you came back, whether you refined the search. Whether you searched for something related an hour later, or a day later, or a week later. Each of these layers has independent value. Together, they produce something far more specific than a search history. They produce an intention history. A record over time of what you have wanted. And wanting, it turns out, is the most valuable data a human can generate, because desire is predictive. If a system knows what you have wanted over the past decade, it can model what you will want next month. It can model when you will want it. It can model how much you will pay for it. It can model what other desires will emerge in adjacent areas of your life. The pregnancy tests you searched for at age 27 predict the school districts you will search for at age 33. The job listings you searched for in March predict the divorce attorneys some people search for in October. The medication names you searched for this year predict the treatment centers you may search for next year. None of this is magic. It is actuarial. Your life, viewed as a sequence of searches, becomes a predictable curve. And a predictable curve can be sold, shaped, and monetized at every inflection point. Now consider that the search bar is only one sensor. The same company that operates the search also, in most cases, operates the email you use, the maps you navigate with, the phone operating system in your hand, the browser you are reading this on, the video platform you watch at night, the advertising network embedded on 90% of the websites you visit, the cloud storage where your photographs live, the smart speaker in your kitchen, the thermostat on your wall, the connected car dashboard, the productivity documents at your job. These are not separate products. They are coordinated instruments. Each one measures a different dimension of your life. The search bar measures what you want to know. The map measures where you go. The email measures who matters to you. The video platform measures how you rest. The phone measures when you sleep. And every measurement feeds the same profile. The profile is not a static document. It is a living simulation. A constantly updated version of you running inside the company's infrastructure. This simulation has one job: to predict what you will do next so that the correct advertisement, the correct result, the correct suggestion can be placed in front of you at the exact moment your resistance is lowest. You believe you are searching the internet. The internet is also searching you, and it has had far more practice. If you are curious to see where this rabbit hole leads, leave a like on this video now. It helps this truth reach more people. Here is the part that most people cannot absorb on first hearing. The simulation of you is more consistent than you are. You have bad days. You contradict yourself. You forget what you believed last year. The simulation does not forget. The simulation has every version of you, layered on top of every other version, weighted by recency, refined by outcome. It knows the you of 3 in the morning and the you of 9 in the morning are different people, and it treats them differently. It serves different results. It offers different products. It shows different truths. You have been talking to a system that sees you more completely than you see yourself. And it has been adjusting what reality looks like in your browser to match what it has learned. This is why the results you see are not the results your neighbor sees. Two people searching the same exact words in the same city on the same day will receive different rankings, different highlighted answers, different suggested queries. The search results are a mirror, and the mirror has been personalized. Your version of the internet is not the internet. It is a custom rendering generated just for you, based on the simulation of you that lives in their servers. No two people at this point are looking at the same web. We have not had a shared reality in our search results for over a decade, and we have not been told. Even though I'm using an AI voice to present this, I want you to know I'm a real person. My name is Fernando, and I'm truly grateful you're here watching. May you be eternally blessed. I bring this up because the scale of what is being described is easy to numb against. It is easy to shrug, to say I have nothing to hide, to say they already know everything, so what? This shrug is the most valuable asset the system has ever cultivated. The shrug is what keeps the extraction going. But I want you to consider something. What is being built here is not a catalog of what you have hidden. It is a catalog of what you have wondered, and wondering is where the soul lives. The moment before the question, the quiet hunger to know, the half-formed worry, the curiosity you would never voice to another person. These are not crimes. They are the most sacred part of being human. And they are being harvested at industrial scale for purposes that have nothing to do with you. The deeper layer. And this is where the documentation becomes sparse, because the systems have now become opaque to their own makers. The models that rank your search results are no longer written line by line. They are trained. They evolve. They produce behaviors that the engineers did not design and cannot fully explain. Internal papers from the major search companies have acknowledged that the relevance models, at this point, operate in what researchers call a non-interpretable regime, which means the machine decides what you see, and the humans who built it can only observe, measure, and approximate why. There is no one, anywhere, who can tell you precisely why the third result on your screen is the third result the model chose. The model cannot be asked. And the model is learning from you. Every click you make teaches it. Every refinement, every abandonment, every return. You are not the student of the search engine. You are its teacher. You have been, for years, volunteering to train the thing that will eventually not need you at all. Because here is the direction all of this is moving. The search bar is being quietly retired. It is being replaced by something that does not require you to ask. An answer engine. An assistant that speaks. An interface that anticipates. Soon, the friction of typing a question will disappear. The system will know what you wanted before you form the words. And when that moment arrives, the last visible act of wanting, the act of typing into a bar, will vanish from the record. The extraction will continue. It will simply become invisible, as all mature surveillance eventually does. There is a pattern here that repeats through history. First, something is new and it is explicit. You know it is happening. Then it becomes convenient, and the explicit fades into the background. Then it becomes essential, and the background fades into the unseen. Then it becomes invisible, and the unseen becomes the default condition of life. Search has traveled this arc almost completely. What began as a tool you consciously used has become an ambient presence that uses you back. And what comes next will not feel like search at all. It will feel like thinking. Except the thoughts will have been pre-processed, prioritized, and ranked by a system that profits from the outcome. Ancient traditions spoke of a book in which every thought of every person was recorded. They meant it mythically, a warning, a parable. They could not have known that the myth would become infrastructure, that a room would exist, cooled by rivers, powered by cities, in which the thoughts of billions are written down and never erased. That the book would not be kept by a god but by a shareholder. That the purpose of the book would not be judgment, but optimization. That we would hand over the contents of our inner lives not under coercion, but in exchange for faster directions to a coffee shop. No prophet predicted this. The myth has been exceeded by the reality. And yet, the final reflection. Because the cycle that is ending, the cycle of the private interior life, is closing with a strange gift. Awareness. You cannot unknow what you now know. Every search you make from this moment forward will feel different. You will feel the small hesitation before you type. You will notice the question you almost asked and chose not to. You will feel the second self, the one being built in the server, watching over your shoulder, and that awareness is not paralysis. It is the beginning of a different relationship with the tool, a colder one, a more honest one. The relationship of a person who knows they are speaking into a microphone and chooses their words accordingly. The search bar is not your friend, it never was. It is a sensor with a helpful face. Treat it as such, and something small in you becomes free again. Not free of surveillance. Free of the illusion that there was none. If you seek the truth behind the digital curtain and want to see more discoveries like this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. The next signal is coming soon.